Hey, it's Miss Jackson. Welcome to my channel, Her True Crime, where we revisit true crime cases committed against women of color. Now, today's case hits so close to home for me because the young woman in this case, Kiera Bergman, was just 19 years old. And I have a daughter that's 20. My daughter, she went off to college, came back home because she was homesick, met a much older man, started breaking curfew, eventually dropped out of college, then moved in with him after dating him for only 5 months. 2 months into their lease, which was in my daughter's name only, by the way, her boyfriend got arrested. Turns out he had pending cases in other states, therefore, he was not going to be released anytime soon. The rent was just too much for my daughter to afford alone, so we convinced her that it was best for her to just come home, and which she did. Now, did she learn her lesson? I don't know. Only time will tell. I'm just glad that she's home, safe and sound. Sadly, this was not the ending that Kiera's family and friends received. If you could give your 19-year-old self one piece of advice when it comes to dating, what would it be? Type it down in the comments. I would really like to read your responses. And while you're there, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Now, on to the case of Kiera Bergman. On July 18, 1999, Kiera Lene Bergman was born to her young mother in San Diego, California. Surrounded by love and support, Kiera happily went through life and graduated from high school in 2017. She went on to pursue a cosmetology license at a local college. A few months later, she met a 22-year-old man named John Clark on Tinder. They started dating. When Kiera brought him around her family, her mother almost instantly got bad vibes. 4 months into their relationship, in March 2018, Kiera decided to leave San Diego and move to Arizona to live with John. After moving to Arizona, Kiera started to communicate less and less with her family. She no longer had a cell phone since both her and John were unemployed. Her family could only chat with her while she was connected to Wi-Fi. Soon, Kiera found a job and even worked 2 jobs at one point, but John was still unemployed. Not long after the move, the two broke up. Kiera found out that her best friend Destiny from high school was also moving to Arizona. This was just in time because she needed a roommate since the split between her and John. Shortly thereafter, Kiera and Destiny decided to move into an apartment in Glendale, a suburb of Phoenix. During that time, Kiera and John's relationship was on and off. He even briefly moved into the apartment with the ladies and began to drive Kiera to and from work in her car. On Saturday, August 4th, 2018, just like every other workday, John picked Kiera up from work. He said that they got into an argument about finances. He also said that she became upset when he told her that he was considering moving to Texas to live with his aunt. She stood up and rushed out the door, leaving her wallet, purse, and car. Later that day, Destiny attempted to call Kiera but got no answer, so she texted her to check on her since she noticed she was upset at work. They were both roommates and co-workers. Kiera sent her a series of texts, one mentioning that she was going through a lot and another stating that she was with a guy she recently met at the store. Destiny thought that was kind of strange because she didn't know Kiera to go out with random men. Anyhow, she brushed it off and didn't think too much of it. Kiera did not come home that night, but Destiny figured she just needed some time to blow off some steam and she'd be back home tomorrow. Monday, August 6th rolled around, and Kiera was scheduled to be at work at 6:30 a.m., but she did not make it. Her boyfriend John said that he called and texted both Kiera and Destiny that morning to find out if she needed a ride to work, but no one responded. When Destiny realized that Kiera did not come into work, she immediately called Kiera's mom to let her know what was going on. They then reported Kiera missing. Kiera's mom wasted no time in traveling to Phoenix from San Diego to search for her daughter. Weeks had passed, but there was no word on Kiera's whereabouts and no promising leads. Tension continued to build between John and Kiera's family.
Let me go that night. I'm not in connection with anything. And then since then, her family still wants to put blame on me and still wants to accuse me and say negative things about me in regards to everything.
On August 17th, John posted a lengthy message on Instagram professing his innocence, shaming Kiera's parents for blaming him, and wishing for Kiera's safe return. On that same day, he was arrested and charged with 22 counts of aggravated identity theft and forgery because when they searched his car, they found several pieces of identification info that did not belong to him. During the search of his home and car, the authorities did not find any evidence linking him to Kiera's disappearance. On September 3rd, mountain bikers stumbled upon a decomposing body in a rural desert area near State Road 85 and Hazen Road. The body was described as wearing a sweatshirt, no pants, and panties pulled down to the ankles. The sweatshirt was the same type that Kiera was spotted wearing on surveillance camera the same day she went missing. Not long after, the body was confirmed as 19-year-old Kiera Bergman. There was no apparent trauma to her body. The cause of death was listed as undetermined. The police classified the case as a homicide and continued to investigate. The obvious suspect was her boyfriend, John. He was the last person to see her that day. The police were able to uncover that John withdrew a total of $500 from Kiera's bank account and also used her debit card to get gas on the same day she went missing. The curious part is that he made those transactions after he claimed Kiera left the apartment. The police also reviewed the couple's phone records and confirmed that he was still at the apartment around the time Kiera left. They noticed that John's phone was connected to Kiera's apartment Wi-Fi and his friend's Wi-Fi. Kiera's phone was only connected to her apartment Wi-Fi. The text messages she sent to her roommate stating that she was out with the guy she just met showed that she was still connected to her apartment's Wi-Fi. Now, how could she possibly still be connected to her apartment's Wi-Fi hours after she left home? Her cell phone did not disconnect from her apartment's Wi-Fi until August 7th, which was 3 days after she went missing. Police dug further and was able to locate Instagram messages between John and his friend discussing Kiera's disappearance. The friend mentioned that the police can use iPhone's Find My Phone feature to track Kiera down. Shortly after that message was received is when Kiera's phone was disconnected from Wi-Fi. I think it's pretty clear who had Kiera's cell phone that entire time. Prosecutors felt they had enough digital and circumstantial evidence to arrest and charge John on September 11, 2018 for first-degree murder and other charges. On August 9, 2002, 4 years after Kiera's disappearance, John went to trial on the lesser charges of second-degree murder and tampering with evidence. During the trial, evidence was presented that Kiera was in a domestic violence relationship with John. Witnesses took the stand to speak on the abuse. Her roommate described John as being controlling and manipulative. The prosecutors relied heavily on the cell phone records and other circumstantial evidence. They were still unable to prove exactly how Kiera died, even after an autopsy. Remember, when they found her, she had no physical signs of trauma to her body. Back when they searched Kiera's car, which was the car that John was driving, they saw no signs of a struggle like blood drops or a splatter. The trial carried on for a little over a month. The jury went on to deliberate for 3 days and came back with a shocking verdict: not guilty. On September 22, 2002, the jury found John Clark not guilty of all charges. He is now a free man. A killer is still on the loose. Who killed Kiera? The family remembers Kiera as being funny, talented, and extremely loyal. From our hearts to theirs, let's extend our deepest and most sincere condolences to the Bergman Bragg family. This terrible tragedy has led Kiera's younger sister to be an advocate for domestic violence victims. Type survivor in the comments if you've ever went through a domestic violence situation and just are grateful that you made it through. Unfortunately, at the tender age of 19, Kiera did not have that chance. As always, thank you so much for stopping by. Please like, share, and subscribe. Be aware. Be safe out there. Bye.